Grab some popcorn and a favorite chair. The love of movies is why we're here. Press play and don't delay. Let's still be our guide to a cinematic day. Fill out the movies from the silver screen to his podcast stream. Phil's covering every movie dream. Fill out the movies. Fill out the movies.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Fill at the Movies. Don't adjust your screen. There is nothing wrong with the formatting. This is all for effect today, and you will understand why in just a few moments when I give my spoiler-free review of The Monkey, the latest horror film from Osgood Perkins. And let me just begin by saying, holy fill in the blank of your favorite descriptive word, because there are many a phrase that could describe this film, and I don't want to get flagged by the YouTube censors or whatnot. But again, imagine any colorful vocabulary to describe this film. It is wild, bloody bananas, and I mean that as a ringing endorsement. This is, of course, the latest horror film from Osgood Perkins, who notably directed Longlegs from last year, one of my personal favorite films from 2024. It's another Neon distributed horror film, and they are just killing it. To put too fine a pun on it, they are continuing to kill it, and The Monkey is another classic case of that. This film is, the trailers in many ways only give you a slight tease at what is in store for you. And frankly, I would encourage you to not watch anything, because the posters and the simple premise of the movie itself are enough to sort of be enticing and get you to go into the theater and plant your butt in that seat. So the premise involves two twin brothers who discover a toy monkey, and you can see it there on your screen, in the attic of their home. And the monkey has a little wind-up key in the back, and when they turn it, it plays and moves its arms and bangs on a drum that it's holding. Now, unbeknownst to them, it's unclear, it's never established, it's never said, but whenever the monkey's key is turned, somebody dies. Somebody close to them dies. And it starts off this whole chain of events where they discover that this toy monkey is in fact possessed, cursed, hexed, what have you. Again, that is never explained, nor does it need to be. The simple premise is this monkey, whenever it is activated, somebody around them or somebody in this town is going to die. This is not Chucky or some sort of Annabelle situation, but some demonic or evil power is at play, and we are just going along for the ride. And what a ride it is, ladies and gentlemen. I was having the best time with this movie. It really is for horror fans, particularly if you are a fan of gore and blood, because this is a creme de la creme gore fest. Perfectly crafted, beautifully articulated, spectacularly enhanced visual candy, if you will. I found myself just being amazed at how many different ways they could come up with sort of creative outings to kill any said character in this movie. And this is not a spoiler because it's right out there in some of the posters. Everybody pretty much dies in this film. There's a lot of death, a lot of blood, a lot of gore. And the thing that I found most sort of intriguing about this film, and something I wasn't expecting, it's damn funny. Now, it's not a satire, or it's not a sort of mockingly funny. Humor and horror can tend to go hand in hand, and when done well, they can really come across as sort of a nice complement to each other, and that's definitely what's going on here. It's more macabre humor, sort of the funny situations arise out of how many creative ways somebody can be killed in the course of an hour and a half. Really, really ingenious stuff, I have to say. And I'm not going to spoil any of the deaths because this is, again, something that you really have to see and experience firsthand. I will just say, if you are going into this expecting it to be a Longlegs 2.0, it's not. And certainly there's no reason to even compare Longlegs to the monkey because they are separate beasts. The monkey is a totally separate beast, and that's okay. Longlegs is certainly has funny moments, but it's a much more sinister and at times cerebral um, horror entry, whereas this is a just a really a thrill ride, for a lack of a better phrase. It is a nonstop riot from start to finish. At the center of it, you have Theo James, who is brilliantly cast in this film, and he's doing double duty because he's playing also his twin brother in the movie. So it's kind of interesting to see the two unique personalities and distinctions, and it really does come across as two different actors or two different performances. I was very impressed by that. This is another Stephen King adaptation. It's based on a short story. I have not read it, so again, I had no frame of reference going into it other than the fact that I'm a big fan of Oz Perkins. Again, loved what he did with Longlegs last year, and this is another case of Osgood or Osgod Perkins, really, to put too fine a point on it. He has done it again. This film is an absolute blast. It is made with love and affection for all us horror fans out there, those of us who really appreciate the blood and the gore and the guts and the glory. All of that is in there, but there's also a really poignant story. And again, I want to sort of put an emphasis on that. There is a real story at this, and hats off to Theo James because he really does carry this film and he makes it work. We are invested in him, his story, and sort of the overarching narrative that begins with these two brothers discover and become in possession of this, for all intents and purposes, demonic toy monkey and all of the sort of bananas, if you will, the shenanigans that follow. And it is a bloody trail from start to finish over the course of 25 years. But this is one of the probably the most fun I've had at the movies this year. And it's sort of right now, I'm 3 for 3 when it comes to horror movies. I started with Companion a few weeks ago. Now Hard Eyes the week before, now with this early access for The Monkey. We are eating well this year, and it's only February, and we still have many more months to go, but it's going to be hard to top The Monkey for me. This was an absolute blast. It's off kilter when it needs to be, emphasizing why the camera here is a little off kilter today. It is wacky, it's weird, it's hilarious, it's bloody. It's nonstop blood. I had to really put that. So if you are squeamish or you don't like, sort of people's, heads, falling off or sort of over the top spectacle, may not be for you. Maybe don't eat beforehand. But in all seriousness, it's just a fun time at the movies, and particularly being a fan of the genre, I had an absolute blast with this movie. I can't wait to go see it again. I'm going to bring as many people as I know to go see it because I think it's a perfect movie to see with a crowd. My theater was pretty packed the other night, and this was for an early screening on a Wednesday, and everybody was having a great time with it. And from what I could gather, just sort of, as you sort of, eavesdrop onto conversations in passing, everybody seemed to be having a great time with it. I certainly did, and frankly, that's, of course, all that matters. But I am recommending this movie to you. It is The Monkey. It is splatterific. It is gore-tastic. All right, I'll stop with some of the tortured puns, but you get my point. Go check out The Monkey. It opens next week. Osgood Perkins, once again, I am in your graces. You have done good sir. All right, everybody, that does it for me now. I'll be back next week, and we'll do this all over again for the love of movies.
Feels covering every movie dream. Feel at the movies makes every movie a dream.